Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to Movie Film. This is episode 197, broadcasting from our post-coronavirus bunker.
Yes.
Bunkers.
The echo you hear is the reverberation off of all my cans of beans.
So many beans.
So many beans.
My name is Zachy Hassan. I'm here with Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zachy?
Well, I don't know if you heard, but the state of California is on lockdown indefinitely.
Yeah, I mean, just hours ago, last evening, we had the Safer at Home emergency order put into place, right?
Yeah.
So, well, you've already had that happen up in the Bay Area.
The Bay Area,
right?
yeah. So 6 counties in the Bay Area went into lockdown earlier this week, and then the governor followed suit as of last night. We're recording this on Friday morning, so as of last night, it's like all of y'all stay inside now.
Yes, which it's funny. I know people are processing this whole thing differently. But it seems that most people got the memo.
Sure.
But then, I've spoken with a few people and they've been like, well, yeah, my friend, he's going to be flying tomorrow. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So this is sort of the, no, seriously, goofball, stop going around and spreading this thing kind of order.
Yeah. I mean, it's been revelatory in terms of like what people are saying about this on social media has been very clarifying.
Yes. Yeah.
I saw Evangeline Lilly is like, you know what?
Yeah.
My freedom matters more than my life. So I'm out, like I'm taking my kids to their gymnastics classes or whatever. And I'm like, listen, Kate from Lost.
I know. It's kind of heartbreaking, to be honest. And I feel... it's difficult seeing anybody sort of have that sort of defiant attitude when we're all trying to just help each other and protect the people that, are more susceptible to this sort of thing. Like it's not even just about you, it's about other people. Right. And so it's seeing these other people, it's disappointing, but then seeing someone like her with a platform.
Yep.
Right. And then people are going to use that and build upon it. It's just like, oh, Kate, what are you doing?
Well, did you see Vanessa Hudgens?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
I saw this thing as soon as it dropped. She's first of all, she looked like she was enjoying a substance of some kind, and kind of like when somebody's just kind of spacing out and stringing thoughts together.
Yes.
But the gist of it, she was like, I mean, I know people are gonna die, but that's like inevitable. And I'm like, this is the worst Thanos impression I've ever heard in my life.
Right. The voice of a generation. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's like we're at home, and it's funny because folks, like before we got on, I was like, hey Brian, how's it been going for you? And Brian's like, well, it's been different, but I'm still doing my thing. It hasn't been that much of an adjustment. And I'm like,
well, let me just clarify, because I work from home.
Because he works from home.
Yeah, no,
he works from home. He doesn't have children. So for Brian, this is like a deviation. It's like a few standard deviations. On the other hand, here's my point. I am home now with all 5 of my children.
Right.
And for anyone who listens, that I barely like them in a few hours of the day that I see them.
Right.
So this is now you talk about an adjustment. So I was talking to my wife yesterday. I was like, I got to tell you, at the end of the day, they're all asleep finally, and it's just it's been a day, And I was telling her, I was like, I got to be honest. If I wasn't around and you were like starting a relationship with somebody else, they would meet these kids and they'd head for the hills. And she's like, wait, where are you? I'm like, I'm not around anymore. She's like, did you leave? I'm like, no, I didn't leave. I'm like, I went off to war. She's like, so you died? I'm like, no, I didn't die. I went to war and I got amnesia and I'm on an island somewhere. So I'm very much alive, but as far as you're concerned, I'm not around. So you feel comfortable moving on. So I had to sketch out this entire scenario.
Right. My name is now Dick Whitman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't know me anymore. Yeah.
But no, it's been 'cause all their schools are closed. All my schools are closed.
Yeah. So tell me what that's like, because they're keeping it up though, right? Through online classrooms, or how's that working?
Yeah. So essentially, we every school. So I teach at several schools in the Bay Area, foremost among them being San Jose State, and San Jose State was the first school to be like, shut it down. That's it.
Right.
And we switched over to Zoom teleconferencing. And I'll be honest, it has not been as much of an adjustment for me as I would have thought. And partially it's because I think, truly, Brian, it's because of this.
Sure. You're used to communicating through a microphone into a computer. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I've been doing this for 8 years anyway. And this is just like, I have a live audience anyway. And so I'm doing that. So I'm managing. I mean, again, it's like, I want to be very clear. Like, if the most inconvenience I have to suffer is like being home with all of my kids who are all healthy, like, it's not an inconvenience at all. You know what I mean? Like, perspective. I get to keep working. So I know there's plenty of people who have it much worse than I do. But yeah, obviously, I mean, when you're used to sort of there's an immediacy that comes from face-to-face interaction. When you lose that, it is an adjustment, and I've told all my students, I'm like, look, because first thing they're like, can you just like give us A's for the rest of the semester? And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that, but I'm like, look, at the end of the day, we got like whatever it is, like 6 to 8 weeks left. Let's just get across the finish line. It's not going to be perfect. Let's do the best we can. We have fun discussions. I mean, we get to talk about movies and stuff, It's
Yeah. I mean, of all the classes they should be, if you have to continue taking classes, that one should be a relief, I would imagine.
I would hope so. So, we'll just see how it goes. It is weird, though, because one thing I've been telling them is take an opportunity to just sort of be present in the moment and sort of appreciate the scale of what we're going through right now, because this is the thing that you're going to tell your kids about.
Yeah, I mean, this is history.
Yeah.
This is unprecedented, like all these things closing down. And I actually would like to clarify, because I know you were using it for the setup to your story, but I don't have a glib attitude about
No. Yeah. And
working from home. I think what we were talking about offline was that it's been interesting because, I mean, this is obviously an enormous adjustment. The company that produces my show has gone through these huge measures to make sure everyone can now work from home. So everyone can access the network. Everyone has the proper, electronic instruments that they need and whatnot. And it's been interesting for me because I work from home. So I write these scripts, and I had 2 or 3 things due this very week. So it's been sort of interesting to sort of still be in my usual workspace, but know that all these other sorts of really life-altering things are happening to all these people that I'm not interacting with. Does that make sense?
It absolutely.
Because I'm not walking through hallways with people and hearing how this is affecting these people. And so it's had to have been through conversations or reading about it online, and it's been really surreal. It's like, I want to say all these different words. I mean, I feel very grateful to still be working like I am, but I'm also really mindful and concerned about the people whose jobs are in jeopardy.
Yeah.
At this moment, and I've been looking through all these things that I can, trying to see, like fundraisers and things like that. I saw there's one called Relief Fund for Hollywood Support Staff that I gave to, that it is, for PAs and all these people as they've had to shut down productions.
Wow.
And it's just, some people can work remotely and some people just can't. And so it's been really sobering and interesting to sort of follow and just try to be empathetic to all these situations happening.
Well, that's kind of that's an interesting thing, right? Because as we both said, like you and I are both in a position where, at the very least, we can. There is a mechanism for us to keep working. We know that, for the foreseeable future, money is still coming in. But people who work at restaurants, and I don't even mean like waiters and stuff. I mean just like people who own restaurants.
Yep.
What do they? I mean, you know what I mean. What do they do? And I can only imagine the impinging dread that must bring, because I've certainly been in that position where you're staring down the barrel of, I don't know how I'm going to pay the rent next month.
Yeah. I mean, I've read about restaurants that have already shut down, and you just got to think they're like, but if we could just skip over this moment, this moment that we're all going through, but it's like they can't. Like, it's just not going to work, and that place doesn't. It's done, and it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I've also sort of on my mind. Sorry to kind of start off on a serious note.
No,
we do intend this to be a chat, and we're going to get the more fun entertainment-y stuff.
But I think this is important, because I have a feeling, certainly what you're saying, you're reflecting what a lot of people who are listening, I'm sure, are thinking.
Yeah, and recently I had on my mind blood donation, because a friend of mine, Kristen, her sister, who was ill and recently passed, she has needed a lot of blood transfusions. So she, in the Chicago area, people might recognize this from the news, they had this event called A Pint for Kim. And they had over 500 people show up, I believe it was on one day, to donate blood. And since I've kind of had that, thing on my mind recently, I was seeing posts about blood donation places saying they've opened up their fridges and seen only 1 day's worth of supply.
Wow.
Right. And many people depend on these sorts of things. So it's, sort of nerve wracking. And I went out recently for this drive, but it's like, oh man, they still need this stuff, so it almost can become overwhelming, but it's just, I've been trying to like read, like where's the need, what are the things that I can do, even if it's just being hunkered down in my apartment, like where can I donate some bucks? And
yeah, and there's I mean, I'm reminded of the Mr. Rogers quote, right? Always look for the helpers. Yeah.
Have you seen those pictures too? I mean, that's what you just really have to admire, is those hospital workers, and it shows them with their faces after a 12-hour day, and their masks are off, and they just have these sort of bloody creases in their cheeks from the masks they've been wearing, and it's incredible.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, it's as I said. I mean, this is a moment, and I'm confident that we'll all sort of get through it together on the other end of this and be able to look back at it. But man, I asked my dad. I was like, in your lifetime, have you seen anything like this? He's like, never. And that's, my parents live about 10 minutes away, and they're in the age bracket, as are most of our parents now, that is more at risk, so it's hard to just be like, you do not leave the house, whatever you need, tell us, we'll get it to you, and I'm glad that they are close by, so we have the ability to do that,
Yeah, I mean, that's been a whole other thing. I mean, this has probably been talked to death, but just almost for posterity's sake. I mean, just the whole runs on the supermarkets, and the whole toilet paper thing, and it's just been kind of fascinating just seeing what happens when something like this occurs. Like what do people do?
Well, here's what I know. Before 3 weeks ago, nobody wiped when they went to the bathroom or washed their hands after.
I know.
This is a brand new thing we've just started.
I know. But with that in mind, that actually does make me somewhat impressed with how quickly responses did happen with theaters. Like, okay, we're closing down, and all these orders putting into place, because obviously there's a lot of ripple effect with these sorts of decisions, but I'm sort of impressed that these measures are being taken, because that's just the way to flatten the curve, as they've been saying. And I hope that makes this go as quickly as it possibly can.
Now you went to the movie theater this past week.
Yes.
Like maybe the last night that it was open.
I think it quite literally was. So my girlfriend flew into town. It's my birthday coming up here soon, and we realized that travel might be kind of wonky coming up, and so she was going to be flying out here today. But she thought, just before everything gets out of control, let's just push it up a week and she'll come out here. And so as things were starting to slow down, we're like, well, let's just go to the movies one last time, right? And this was when, the whole social distancing thing was being introduced in all these different places. So they weren't shut down yet. But every other row had a strip of tape over it, so you couldn't sit near people. So we went and saw Onward, and the place wasn't very crowded. And during the middle of the movie, I started feeling really weird, and I started getting really sweaty, and I was like, I'm gonna throw up. Like, what? Wow. This is not good. And then I thought about it. If I do that in here, I'm gonna be on the news. I mean, with all this going on. And I was like, Brian, just don't do it.
Do not barf in Onward.
Yeah. Yes. So basically, I spent the whole movie willing myself not to get sick. And then as it ended, I turned to my girlfriend. I was like, I don't know if I could even walk. And so she helped me out, and we went and sat on a bench. And anyway, long story short, we both ended up with food poisoning.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, which is funny because now it's like, oh, thank goodness. I got food poisoning, and it wasn't something else. But anyway, made it home. Couldn't believe the odds of that. And then I think it was the very next day they shut down theaters. Oh, because we were joking like, well, I don't know, maybe we can go try to see it again at some point. And then it's like, nope, all theaters are 4,000 plus theaters across the country are now closed. So yeah, that was unpleasant, but a memorable finish to movie going for a while.
Yeah, really. I think the last movie I watched in the theater before all this was The Invisible Man. So,
oh, okay.
Our last regular episode, anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Geez, what a time! It's like I said, just reiterating what I say to my students. If nothing else, just sort of take this all in. I mean, this is a moment, and hopefully, this is an opportunity and I'm saying this to me, to be more productive in terms of getting writing done and things like that. I keep telling myself, I'm like, all right, now I have time to write.
Yeah.
I'm also finding like ways to not do that,
I know. I mean, truly, hopefully there's time for both, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's time for all the things you said, not to sound like that song, turn, turn, turn. But, there's a time to reflect on this and let it in, because it is a lot to think about and to be present in this moment, but also a time to be a bum. That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Like play some video games and watch some TV, but then also, hopefully use the time productively as well. And I know I'm speaking to myself right now, but I want to make sure that I talk to my parents and keep checking in and use this time to FaceTime people that maybe I don't even typically FaceTime. Like, why not? It's an opportunity.
Brian, the other thing I was thinking about was, imagine if this same scenario happened 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, man. Right?
A lot harder.
Very different. We wouldn't have known it, but yeah, we're not having movies beamed into our house like that.
Exactly. Right. Like you and I are talking on our show like we always do.
Mm-hmm.
We can watch all the stuff on stream. It's actually very funny because Sunday morning, we had gotten the notification from the schools like, oh, schools are closed for the coming several weeks. Everyone's, just stay home, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. And literally I was like, well, stuck at home, but hey, at least I can finally work my way through my Netflix queue, know? And then I get online and it's like, internet connection not working. Like, no internet connection.
Yeah. Like, that's been interesting, hasn't it? I mean, it's some of my streaming's been a little, garbled, and the internet's been running kind of wonky, and you're like, okay, this is the test, internet companies.
What's funny is I call up Comcast and I'm like, hey, I just want to make sure because it's showing it's connected and this and that. And so the rep is, she's talking me through it, and we spend maybe a good 25 minutes on the phone. And then at some point, like, it's still having issues. And she goes, I just want to set expectations here. We may need to send somebody out, and they would come out like Thursday or Friday, something like that. And I just thought to myself at that moment, like, oh, I was downstairs, all the kids were downstairs, my wife was in the kitchen. I just thought it'd be funny if I just hung up the phone and I just quietly go upstairs, and after like maybe 10 seconds, you just hear a shotgun. That was like my dark thought at that moment.
Right.
in this
That'd be
day
a good commercial for Spectrum.
Yeah. The guy's on the phone with Comcast, and then you hear the shotgun, Spectrum. This won't happen with us. So anyway, I went to a dark place early, is my point.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we got obviously we got lots of stuff going on. Before we get into the sort of wonky world of headlines, I did want to share some recent reviews and comments that we've gotten to lift, if not our listeners' spirits, lift our spirits. Because really, Brian, this is about us.
Isn't it though?
Isn't it always? So here's a couple new reviews that were left for us on iTunes, and this is from Frickerhod, who says, the commentary track episodes are a fantastic way in which to re-experience so many of the films that have captured my imagination, from classic 80s films to modern blockbusters, with a right mix of nostalgia, trivia, humor, and impressive film knowledge. The hosts create a wonderful environment to celebrate, re-examine, and critique.
Oh, man, we really appreciate that.
And there's more, Brian.
Oh.
This is from Seymour No, who says, there are a lot of reviews on here telling you that Zachy and Brian are knowledgeable, engaging, and funny, and rather than write a review that says that all over again, oh no, please do. It's
editorial note.
Yeah. I wanted to put it a different way. I listen to 30 different podcasts each week during my long Bay Area commute, and this podcast skips to the head of the queue in front of any other.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Wow, thank you so much.
We say this all the time. I mean, geez, it's obviously like we do this show. We've been doing this show because we enjoy talking with each other. Mm-hmm. I hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this point, right?
Of course.
But and Brian, you said this, right? Like getting stuff like this, it just puts fuel in the tank.
It most definitely does, because I mean, yeah, we do this because we love it, right? I mean, we're not getting much money from this, and we have these full-time jobs, and you have a big family, but it's like we keep coming back to this because we can't imagine not doing it, right? And then to receive comments like this, and I think, Zachy, you forwarded one or two about people, listening to this and it sort of brightening their days during this past week, and that is just the stuff that makes me excited to hop onto the mic. And I was, even for this particular episode this morning, it just, hearing those sorts of comments made me, it feels like a community. And I know we don't see each other, but I really do think of this as going out to, friends of mine. Right. And so during this sort of bummer of a week, and varying degrees for so many people, like I really did think like, well, I'm excited to get on this microphone and kind of hang out with my friends, and hopefully we can kind of cheer each other up with some chit chat. So yeah, it really means a lot receiving these messages.
Well, and to that point, this was a tweet that was left by Michael Bailey at Bailey's Podcast, who says, "In these times of fear and confusion, I rely on podcasts to get me through. Listening to Zachy and Brian talking about movies, specifically Birds of Prey and Rise of Skywalker, has been a needed distraction over the past few days."
Man, yeah, It's funny because when we do this, like I said, we just kind of enjoy talking with one another and hope other people feel like they're in on the conversation. But I just don't think of it that way. I sometimes don't think about what people are doing when they listen to this. And sometimes they're in a good mood. Sometimes they're in a bad mood. I remember one in particular talking about shoveling their driveway up in Canada. And when I read those, it's just really illuminating to me. Like, oh, wow, this is the way that people are inviting us into their lives. You know? And it's something that makes me really humbled and proud, and so thank you. And
it's worth pointing out that Michael is someone who I came to become friends with through his podcasts, and he hosts many podcasts, including the one that I started listening to him through, called From Crisis to Crisis, a Superman podcast. Just sort of it's an examination of the specific era of Superman comics from like 1985 to 2005, roughly, which is like my era. And that I started listening to that show in like I think it was like 2009, and listening to Michael doing that show is one of the things that made me say, "Hey, I think I could do a podcast." This.
Oh, cool.
And so it's very gratifying to have been able to form a friendship with somebody who really I discovered through a podcast, who now is able to say, "Hey, your show is like a bright part of my day." I mean, you talk about a community. I mean, there's no better word to describe it than that.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
Yeah. So, folks, if that is something that interests you, he's got It All Comes Back to Superman, Views from the Long Box, Bailey's Batman podcast. He's very prolific, and if you're any kind of a comic geek, which I'm assuming a fair number of our listeners are, I think you'll enjoy what he has to say. So check those out.
Very cool.
Why don't we take a short break, and then we'll come back and talk about some headlines.
Cool.
And we're back, and we have basically nothing to talk about because
Yeah.
Hollywood has shut down.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know. I've never experienced anything like this, right? I mean, it trickled a little bit, right? Where productions were saying, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. We have a lot of people working in close proximity.
Yeah.
A couple sets had people testing positive for coronavirus. And so...
Well, Brian, I mean, right out the gate, Tom Hanks...
Yes.
...was the most prominent, recipient of COVID-19. Well, actually, I'm reconstructing it. This was like one night. This was one crazy night. It was like a week ago Wednesday.
Yes, I'm glad you're saying. This is about how I wanted to frame it. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
It was like rat-a-tat-tat. First of all, the president came out to give an Oval Office address, which was less than optimal.
Yes.
And then within minutes of that, we're told, oh, by the way, the NBA season is canceled.
Yes.
And then very shortly after that, Tom Hanks is like, hey, everybody, I'm infected and in quarantine now.
I know.
And we're like, what?
Yeah. That was when it really, the shade, this tidal wave of things all at once, right? And these very normal things that you don't imagine would happen, like the NBA shutting down, like what? Right?
Yes.
And without a strike or something, right? And then it was like all sports shut down immediately. And then, our most revered American actor.
Yes.
I have it. You're like, what? It was a lot. It was a lot at once.
It was very funny because on the one hand you had the president's speech and he was kind of doing his usual thing where he's like stumbling through words and slurring and not really making that sense. And then you've got Tom Hanks who's like, hey everybody, we're all in this together. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine. Take care of each other. Mm-hmm. And you're like, could you just do that from the Oval Office? Because I feel like
yeah, thanks, Tom.
Here's the funny thing about this. This is the Business Insider. You can't make this stuff up. The Australian hospital where Tom Hanks was at, he spent a couple days in observation, and then they sent him home for self-quarantine, right? Mm-hmm. So they said he has been discharged. And so the White House misinterpreted discharged to assume that he died.
Really?
I'm not making this up. So Donald Trump was seconds away from tweeting that Tom Hanks had died.
Whoa.
And somebody had to basically pull the phone out of his hand before he did that.
Slap it out of his hand and go,
I'm not making this up. And this this is the world we're living in right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But yeah, Tom Hanks is apparently he's doing all right. Idris Elba has COVID-19. Daniel Day Kim has COVID-19.
Right.
Maybe he should talk to Kate.
Right. I know.
He's like, so it's a weird situation. It's a moving target, but obviously, as it pertains to this show, the impact on the entertainment industry has been very interesting. I was talking about this with my class yesterday. One aspect, you're talking about TV shows being shut down, productions being shut down, and one thing that they're having to grapple with is, you have certain shows that, like, okay, they're not going to get to finish their season. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, we'll have to carry that over into next year. But there's some shows that are ending.
Right.
And they have no finales.
Right.
So like Empire is a kind of a high profile show that's going off this season, but they haven't filmed their finale yet.
Oh wow.
Well, now what? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean that's interesting, right? I mean, with this and with even movie programming, right? I mean, there's this big gap that we're all having to leap over.
Yes.
And so then what do you do? I mean, do you just push everything, by 3 months as if it never happened and we keep going? Or is it, right? I mean, movies in particular are so meticulously plotted, right?
Yes.
When their release dates are set 2 years in advance because they think that scrupulously about it. So, what does this mean? The TV, obviously, but also for the movies. I mean, there are movies in production that were probably going to come out next year that's just not going to happen now. And I don't know. And you'd sort of hope for these productions because obviously these are shows that we enjoy and care about. And it's an entertainment podcast. That's why we're focusing on it. But there's a lot of jobs, a lot of livelihoods, and you'd really like to think that these people won't just be sort of let the ground fall out beneath them and then we move forward. You hope that we all sort of move forward together with this thing and then resume, Yeah,
it's and actually I was thinking about Empire, another show, Supernatural, which has been running since George Bush was president.
Wow.
And it's ending, and now they're just kind of adrift without a finale.
Wow. Huh.
Which, if you're a longtime fan, I've never seen the show, but I mean, obviously a show doesn't last that long without having a lot of devoted fans.
Yep.
That's got to be extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
No, but to your point, yeah, I mean, certainly within the entertainment industry, you see there's such a wide range of people with different means available to them, right? Mm-hmm. And it's been amusing. Some people are getting upset about this. I'm more amused by it, where you have like celebrities on social media, like Gal Gadot and various other celebs did this "Imagine There's No Heaven" thing. You see this?
Yes. Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, guys, instead of doing this, like, you could donate money, you could help something. I'm like, well, maybe they are. We don't know that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think this seemed more inspirational in your head.
Yes.
Than it, and it's like, I saw a thing of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like in a hot tub smoking a cigarette. Hey, everybody, just stay home. Just relax. It's fine. You don't have to go anywhere. He's like chugging wine from the bottle,
And hanging out with his like donkey.
And I'm like, Governor, I don't think everybody has the same concerns that you do, Yeah.
I agree with you because I first had kind of an eye-rolly reaction to that Imagine video, but then I was like, I appreciate the gesture of what they're trying to do. They're trying to put some positivity out there.
Yeah.
But it's also difficult, to like read a room a little bit. I mean, with the Schwarzenegger thing, it's like he's trying to be fun and entertain a little bit, but then it can also make you feel like, well, yeah, have fun in your hot tub. Like, yeah, it's a tricky tightrope.
Yeah, so another follow-on effect is with all the theaters closed. I mean, in our last episode, we talked about the final trailer for Black Widow, and then the date there that said May 1st, and I was like, well, one thing we know for absolute certain, Brian, is that as surely as night follows day, Disney will never, ever, ever, ever move the date for Black Widow, and then they move the date for Black Widow, right? All these big, actually, the first big move. Well, I mean, there was James Bond, but Fast and Furious got pushed a whole year.
Yeah, which was obviously a very big move. But the thing is we don't know the timeline of all of this, right? And so when some movies are like, yeah, we're just going to move like 2 months, I was like, yeah, you sure?
Yeah,
like we don't know what 2 months looks like. So yeah, the year drastic move that actually sort of made more sense to me. Like, let's just. Right?
Yeah, just shut it down. Let's pretend 2020 didn't happen.
Yeah, it feels a little more calculated.
Yes.
But then again, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot to consider, and especially if you're Marvel, right? And you have 3 movies or whatever it is coming out a year, and they all sort of, there's a thread to all this, so there's things for them to think about.
Well, and so Disney is like, we're pushing it. We don't know when. and not just Black Widow, also Mulan. It's
Right.
They're like, we'll figure it out. We'll come back later. But they're just leaving it TBD, which obviously makes sense because I mean, there's going to be a fall-on effect. I mean, no summer movie will be unaffected by any of this. They haven't announced it yet, but I can't imagine that Wonder Woman 84 won't be impacted, and whatever else they have planned this year.
Right.
And then obviously all the stuff that's filming right now for next year. I mean, there's like probably a couple months open where they could get back to it and keep that date, whatever date they have. But I mean, I don't think this is. I mean, gosh, I mean, the most pessimistic estimates are like 18 months of quarantine.
Wow.
Think about that for a second.
I know. That's a
lot.
We just don't even know. Like,
don't know.
What can we compare it to, you know?
So another thing that's happened as a result is studios are releasing brand new films onto VOD.
Yes. Which,
I mean brand new.
right, like our last review, right? The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man is available to rent on Vudu right now. And coming this Tuesday, Birds of Prey. And Bloodshot.
Bloodshot, and then which had just come out last Friday or
Bloodshot was ahead of the curve because people were practicing social distancing from that to be completely separate from any of this. So that's 12 days from theater to streaming.
Yeah, which obviously I've seen these sort of think pieces about like what does this mean for the theater going experience, and obviously the answer is we don't exactly know, but I'm like, it's got, I mean, I hope it isn't completely damaged, right? But we're going to go outside again, you know, we're going to go to the movies again. I think this isn't saying something about the release window so much as it is this movie has no chance at making any money.
Yes.
Like theaters are closed. Like, what are you going to do? So to me, it only made sense to put it out there and try to get something from it.
See,
right?
I think Brian, I think you're more optimistic. I truly feel like because as soon as AMC said we're going to be closed from 6 to 12 weeks, and then Regal and Cinemark they all followed suit. I was like, this may well be the death knell of theatrical distribution.
Oh man,
as we know it. I mean, this is like dropping a bomb on the movie industry.
Yeah, let me say this. I don't think movie theaters are ever going to go away.
I agree with that.
But will there be releases into 4,000 plus theaters? Will that be a normal thing after this? That I don't know. I mean, this could be a huge injury.
I think what this is going to do is accelerate what's been happening already.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at like right now, because I was my wife was like, wow, $20 to rent The Invisible Man? And I was like, well, think about this. If you go to the movie theater and you get 2 tickets, there's $20 right there.
Yeah.
And that's just 2. If you go with more people, it's even more. So $20 to watch a movie one time, and if you've got a big family, that actually, mathematically and with people's home theater options, a lot of people would prefer that choice.
Totally.
And here's the thing, Brian. That $20, the majority of that would go to the studio.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, so they're going to wise up. They're going to realize that a lot of these films that they're putting out, I'm willing to bet right now, because Onward, which we talked about last time as the first like Pixar flop in a while, it's going to do very well on digital streaming.
Absolutely. Well, but what I guess I'm trying to consider is those are movies that were out in the theater currently, and now there's just no, like Bloodshot. I mean, jokes aside, like just had no shot at making any money, quite literally because theaters aren't open. So it's like you either let it just pretend like it didn't exist, or you try to recoup some sort of money.
Sure.
So do you think that they ever then put out Black Widow or No Time to Die this way, or is this just a smart move for movies that were out there and got suddenly cut off?
I think Black Widow and No Time to Die have to be released theatrically. because of how much money is involved. But I think smaller scale films, a la Bloodshot, like I think Bloodshot is going to do better on VOD.
That would be fascinating. I'm curious to see.
By a wide margin, I think it'll do better on VOD. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's what these mid-level films.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, we've seen that already sort of taking place, right? Where there's simultaneous VOD releases and theatrical releases, but maybe this is the thing that accelerates it.
Yeah, I would say so. I would assume, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, Onward is going to be available for digital rental or purchase.
I think today, right? The 20th, March 20th. But then it's going to Disney Plus in
April 3rd.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks.
Right.
You know, so that's insane.
That is.
You know.
Yeah.
So things are changing very rapidly. It is a moving target, and I had actually reserved a ticket to go see Bloodshot, and then it was I had reserved a seat, and then that day was like the first day of AMC shutting down.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, okay, guess I'm not watching that. And then I do plan to see it still because it's based on a comic book. I think I said this before, and I read that comic book growing up. So I was like, well, I do still want to watch it. So you know, maybe the next time we record, I'll have something to say about that.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, I'm certain I'm going to be viewing things.
Yeah.
So we'll still have plenty to talk about.
We're going to be catching up. We're going to be catching up on some stuff.
Mm-hmm. But and then just for, again, sort of posterity's sake, this is a little bit of old news, but I guess was the first thing that sort of got dropped early Frozen 2?
No, it was The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, right. Yeah, so like streaming services made it. It wasn't even with like an announcement, right? They just sort of made it available early.
Yeah, I mean, Rise of Skywalker was supposed to come out this past Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And instead, Disney dropped it the previous Friday, so it wasn't like a major. They didn't jump the till by a huge amount. But yeah, I think Frozen 2 wasn't supposed to hit Disney Plus for another like 4 months or something. Mm-hmm. And they just put it out there, and I'm grateful for that now because my daughter will not stop watching it. and it's obnoxious. She's full on. I've said this before. She's full on Disney princess. She got a hold of some kitty scissors and she cut her hair.
Oh no! Is that just a rite of passage for every child?
Feels like. So I come home and I'm like, what happened to her hair? And I was like, she cut it. I'm like, why'd you cut your hair? And she says, because I'm Punzel.
Oh wow. Oh no. That's kind of adorable.
I'm Punzel.
I'm glad she didn't hurt herself.
No, she's yeah, so that that's the stuff I've been dealing with. But yeah, so Frozen 2 dropped early, and I think all of this could potentially be a big bonanza for Disney Plus. If they were smart, honestly, they would like put out, you know, Captain America or whatever, Falcon and Winter Soldier. They put that out early. Which,
by the way, it was still filming, and it got shut down.
That's right. They had to suspend it. You're right.
But Trolls World Tour, that's the first movie that had not come out yet that is going to be released
correct.
On VOD, correct?
So that, in lieu of a theatrical release, they're just dropping it on VOD. I think April 10th.
Okay. Yeah. And, excuse me, that makes sense, too, because that seems like something that a good number of your kids would enjoy, right?
Yeah, but they will never watch it. Oh. Never.
Well, I was like, why not? Oh, I got
it. It's taken like 3 years to get the vestiges of the first one out of my head. I don't need any more of that.
Yeah. But yeah, even the few other. Sorry, I was just gonna say just a
go ahead.
I mean, it's The Way Back, that Ben Affleck movie.
That's coming now. Yeah, this coming Tuesday.
Yeah, I Still Believe, which was like a faith-based movie that was actually doing quite well, and it's just impressive. Just all these. But again, I just feel like it's the smart. Oh, Emma was another one. The Hunt, which is the movie that what was it? They said they didn't want you to see, and now it's like, no, really, people don't want you to see this. Like,
well, Brian. Speaking of that, the New Mutants.
Oh yes, yes.
You talk
Perhaps
about
the most cursed movie of all time.
This movie is cursed. It was originally scheduled for first quarter of 2018.
Okay.
And they've kept kicking the ball down the curb, and then it's like, all right, it's coming. Here, ready or not, you're gonna love this. Just wait for it. It's here. It's just double-digit days away.
Right.
And then okay, we're delayed because of literally the plague.
Right. right. So, like what else?
And I feel bad because Josh Boone, who wrote and directed it, he has to like keep talking up this movie, like oh no, it's gonna be like really good, and it's like, this poor guy, I feel bad.
Yeah,
for
this
him.
wound that just won't heal for him.
It's really. He talks about how like. He was worried because originally it was supposed to come out before Dark Phoenix, and he was not a fan of everything Dark Phoenix was doing, so he was gratified that it was going to come out after. And I'm like, well, at this point, it's coming out way, way after.
Right.
But, I mean, I think this, if ever there was a movie to just throw onto VOD and be done with it, it's this one.
Right.
Because it's not going to be a hit. I mean, it's just not.
Right.
I don't think that's a controversial thing to say, is it? I hope not.
Well, no, I don't. I didn't take any offense.
Okay,
but you just reminded me that the another thing that got delayed was the Friends reunion.
Yes,
and what that makes me think of is the HBO Max, right? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And so obviously that was going to be some sort of flagship. Hey, check this out, tentpole event to subscribe to this thing. And I wonder now. If all the things that were going to make that service attractive have been delayed, then what does that mean for that whole business model? And I don't know, it's just a lot of trickle effect here.
But this is like a boom time for streaming.
Yeah, which makes me think they must be like, oh, are you kidding me? Like this could be our time.
Disney Plus got ahead of the game, son.
Yep.
They launched it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though is talking about all these streaming services and how it's hard to, there's just so many. It's overwhelming. We were talking about this last time, how you could just make up having a made up show on a made up streaming service and people would probably believe it.
Right.
I was thinking about the fact that I bought a new iPhone a couple weeks ago. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And because I have a new Apple product, it gives me a free year's subscription to Apple TV Plus.
Yes.
And whenever I go into my settings, it's like, you have a free Apple TV Plus subscription, just hit accept. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, one of these days.
Right.
And I'm like, think about this for a second. Like, all I have to do is just hit the little thing that says yes. And I'm too lazy to do that.
Right.
And I wonder how many other people are out there like me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because here's Apple, like, come on, it's right there.
Right.
Just hit the thing.
You know what's funny, by the way? This is funny you bring this up because I had no plans of ever getting Apple Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
But they had this Beastie Boys documentary coming up.
Okay.
By Spike Jonze, and I was like, that looks pretty good, but I'm not going to get Apple Plus. But they were going to put it out in theaters. I was like, I think I might. I'd like to. I'm very curious about this. I'd like to go check this out. Maybe I'll go do it. And then they canceled it. And then now it's obviously going to be on Apple Plus, and I was like, oh no. Like I can't. Just for this one thing I want to see, I don't know. So now I'm rooting you on. Yes.
Well, I will at some point hit yes, but I just, again, I got my phone sitting right next to me. I just have to, I'm sort of amazed at the next level laziness I've managed to, this brand new streaming service. I don't have to pay anything for it. I just have to accept.
I know, but we're all guilty.
There's a movie on there called The Banker, I think it's called.
Right. Is it the Samuel Jackson thing?
Yes, and Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
And I wanna watch that. Like that would be a reason for me to check it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, while we continue sort of the general wonkiness of 2020, I don't think there's anything better that sums up that wonkiness than the fact that I got on Twitter earlier this week and I see a hashtag trending. It says "Release the butthole cut."
Yes.
And I said, well, I'm not going to click that hashtag.
Right.
And then gradually I find out that this is related to the movie Cats. Mm-hmm. Which, okay, so do you want to explain this?
Sure, I'd love to. So apparently some friend of a VFX person who worked on Cats was like, hey, here's a little fun fact for you. My friend who works in visual effects, like months or like weeks before Cats was to hit theaters, had the job of removing about 400 shots of computer generated buttholes from the cats in the film. And that's one of those things where you're like, that's so weird, it just might be true. Right? And it was kind of this entertaining, amidst all of this gloom, it was kind of this funny little like, well, that's just funny. Cats still bringing us joy after all this time, just to kind of point and laugh and question. But the thing that was so interesting to me was that was enough for me, right? But then people reached out to Universal to ask if this was true, and they all but confirmed it. And if you dig a little deeper, I think, was it the VFX company that responded to this?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, the VFX company, Mill Film, I guess, said they can't discuss it due to NDAs. So I guess someone spoke anonymously, apparently. But they said that what actually happened was just the way that the digital fur was applied, it left for... what do you want to call it, like meeting grounds, right, where all the fur kind of comes together. And it did leave the impression that you were looking at these sort of like furry cat buttholes, apparently.
Dude, so, I mean, speaking of buttholes, these poor guys at the VFX company can't stop getting shit on because of this movie.
Yeah, no pun intended.
They can't escape it,
Yeah. So yes. So people did have to go through and remove these sort of, what do you call it? Like a visual, not an anomaly, but just there was something in there that would leave you with the impression.
There were a bunch of accidental anuses.
Accidental anuses,
which was my band actually back in high school.
Yeah, playing Coachella, right?
Yeah, we had a good run.
Yeah. So yes, that did happen. They were removed. Universal basically snickered and was like, this is our favorite. I think they said this is our favorite email of 2020 or something. So
I'm just like, I'm imagining the VFX artist who's sitting there in front of his PC or Mac. It's Friday night at 11:37, and he's kind of leaning in. Does that look like a butthole? I don't know. Like, there's no one else there. All the lights are out, and he's just kind of doing like a Photoshop filter to erase, the anus-looking thing. And he's probably like, "This is this is what my life is right now."
Yes, yeah. So the picture you painted, I'm imagining. Yeah, does this look like a butthole? Yes. Does this look like a butthole? Yes. And it's like that shot from All the President's Men where it slowly like rises up and he's at his desk with one single lamplight. Does this look like a butthole? Yes.
Oh God! I need somebody who's listening to do that for us. Do an edit.
I would love, yeah.
It's the overhead shot from All the President's Men, right? That's what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
It gradually zooms out. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Now you have seen Cats.
I have.
I am not going to see Cats.
I did not notice. I think they did a very good job because I did not notice any cat buttholes.
They should put that on the box.
I didn't notice any cat buttholes.
That's one good thing, or bad thing, I guess.
Right. Right.
Yeah. It's just that it's here's the funniest thing about all this to me is Idris Elba. When he announced that he had contracted COVID-19, there was a headline that said "Cats star Idris Elba," and you have to imagine he's like, "Really, guys?
Right. It's like, I was in
Luther,
The Wire.
The Wire, literally anything else ever I have done.
Right. Did you see, by the way, Seth Rogen got stoned and like tweet watched cats?
I heard that he did that. I didn't see the tweets.
I don't know if it was funnier to me because I had seen it, but
Okay.
it was very entertaining. I highly recommend going through there and scrolling through his whole feed about that.
Well, in lieu of watching the film, I may just do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there is some Star Wars news going on.
Yeah, right. In spite of everything, the Star Wars train never stops. J.J. Abrams was speaking at an Academy screening a week ago.
Yes.
So right before everything closed down. But it was brought up, I think they were trying to talk about with Rey being a Palpatine. Spoilers, I should say, for anyone who was waiting for the home video release.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah, but it was with Rey being a Palpatine. Some people have been for it. Some people have been against it, right? And Abrams was saying, well, a thing that has come up a lot is that Abrams was possibly trying to retcon some of the themes from The Last Jedi, right? And Last Jedi set up that Rey was a nobody.
Yes.
So then making her Palpatine, some people felt sort of offended. And it's like, well, you took away the thing that the other movie tried to set up. And Abrams addressing that said, well, this is a quote, I think one of the themes of The Last Jedi is that anyone can be anything regardless of where you're from. And I don't know if it resonates for everyone, but I think there are quite a few people who appreciate that idea of not coming from a place that you're not particularly excited about following or proud of. So,
Yes.
you know, how do you double down on, you know, your past? And it's not just coming from nowhere, but coming from a bad guy bloodline, right? How do you
Yes.
contend with that when you're trying to be the good guy?
Like you are more than your blood.
Right. Which you, I believe, brought up, right? During
I did.
touched on it.
You know, when we were discussing the film, I that specific reveal, I said, to me, it didn't so much retcon it, but turn the dial even further. It's like, oh my God, what's worse than finding out that you're nothing? No, you're Hitler's granddaughter. Mm-hmm. In that case, you're like, oh my gosh, I'd rather just be nothing.
Right. Right.
And another interesting thing to me, because I've rewatched it since, you know what's funny, by the way, is the last time we recorded, we were talking about Rise of Skywalker, and you were talking to me about your feelings several months removed, and how, you know, you're like, there's some things I didn't like about it, and whatever, you know, we kind of going back and forth, right? Mm-hmm. And then I rewatch it, and I'm like, oh, I can't stay mad at you, you know?
I totally agree. I think it's, I think that is my final feeling on it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I completely understand the things that I wish were different and that may not work for everybody. Like I see it, I know it, and I share some of the same feelings. But it's one of those things. I mean, it's family, and I just can't get mad at it.
It's family, yeah. But I think there's an added element in, you know, the Rey and Ben conflict, which is here's Ben trying to get her to come to the dark side. He knows who she is, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to imagine part of his desperate need to have her turn is the fact that she is Palpatine's granddaughter, and she's like, no, I'm not going to be like that. He's wrestling with, well, what does it say about me that my parents are who they are, and I'm this friggin' asshole?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It's like he needs to justify to himself being a bad guy because we keep saying it's too late for me. Mm-hmm. Right? And so there's that extra element of, you know, when he's fighting Rey and then Leia reaches out to him, ultimately what prompts him to make that face turn is that realization that it's never too late. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, it just, I was talking to my wife while we were watching, I was like, to me, there's a religious parallel. You know, certainly Islamically, like we're told, never be afraid to ask for forgiveness. God is always ready to forgive you, no matter what. Mm-hmm. No matter how far gone you think you are, God is always ready to forgive you. Mm-hmm. Right? But the hardest thing is our own sense of our own vanity.
Right.
Like, no, there's no way I can be forgiven.
Sure. The same line of thinking. It kind of reminds me of like a Saul to Apostle Paul kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we talked about it on our original show, I mean, we talked about the parallel with Rise of Skywalker, where that final battle is amidst fire, and then this final battle is amidst water, right? And how Anakin is consumed by his rage there, but Ben is purified of his rage there. You know, the juxtaposition of water and fire. So I don't know, man. There's just too much stuff in it for me to like. You know.
See, and that's fun, and I know some people want more of that stuff on the surface.
Sure.
But you're making me excited to rewatch it and dig in a little bit and find the things that I can apply to it. Sort of much like what you're saying right now.
Well, and with that in mind, there's a terrific set of documentaries attached to the film. There's a 2-hour production journal, essentially, which is the Skywalker Legacy. And you'll really like it, because one thing it does, I mean, it takes us through the entire production, but what it also does is it includes production footage from the other, like the original trilogy films. And so you're able to juxtapose Mark Hamill from 1982 saying one thing, and then Daisy Ridley, like right now, saying the same thing, and how those things intersperse with each other, you know?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds like something I would just devour.
Oh, yeah, you'll love it. And it's a deep dive. It's 2 hours, you know?
Yeah.
So, worth watching. There's also a little thing about John Williams.
Oh, cool.
And that's like a 7-8 minute thing, but you see him kind of doing his last, essentially, you know, finishing it up. And you see Steven Spielberg came to listen, and Mark Hamill was there. And I mean, it's like, man, what a unique fraternity to be a part of.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's nice.
In the end of an era, you know, I mean, John Williams, long live John Williams, but like this is probably his last hurrah with the Star Wars universe. So what a cool, I look forward to watching that and just sort of seeing them at the finish line for this thing and just watching him work.
The other thing about John Williams, I was thinking about this too. I was like, I mean, you know, the sequels are polarizing, and to whatever extent, you know, that's an ongoing discussion, right? But one thing no one can argue is the new themes that John Williams introduced to the canon in the sequels are instantly iconic. And I was thinking, I was like, there's more new, unique thematic material in these films than in the prequels.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, like the prequels, each film has like the theme, right? And there's like Duel of the Fates, and in the second one, the love theme, whatever that was, and then Battle of the Heroes, right?
Yeah, you're right.
But that's it, right?
I hadn't thought about that, but you're totally right.
Right, these new films, you've got the March of the Resistance. That's instantly you recognize it. There's obviously the Kylo Ren theme. There's the Rey theme. I mean, these are. You're like, oh, well, that's Star Wars music. And it feels like it's just always been there. Yeah.
It took me a minute, the Kylo music or Resistance, or what do you call them?
The March of the Resistance?
Is that what it's called? Yeah, I remember thinking like, oh, it's just so simple. You know, the first time I heard it in Force Awakens, like it didn't seem like the Imperial March to me, I guess.
Oh, sure.
And I can hear it right now in my head.
Do you mean the Kylo Ren theme?
Maybe that's it, the da-da,
Yeah.
But it's so effective.
It is.
You know, and then I think by the third film, it occurred to me like, oh, yeah, this is the new set of memorable themes that were just there, that are embedded.
And by the way, I sent you the audio clip of how Williams reorchestrated the Kylo Ren theme to sound heroic.
Yeah, which I hadn't picked up on in the film.
And the cool thing about that is, in the documentary, they talk about how that was a J.J. Abrams idea. And John Williams was like, huh? Like he's never done that.
Oh, funny.
He's like, but that's this theme. He's like, yeah, but can you make it sound heroic? And so he had to he had to exercise a new muscle. I was like, imagine that. Like, you know, like
giving a suggestion to John Williams where he goes, well, I haven't thought of that. Yeah, that would be quite the,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, so but there is some other cool Star Wars news. I found this interesting anyway, and it is that per rumors, this is at Slash Film, The Mandalorian Season 2 is going to feature the first live-action appearance of Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, so we've touched on this, but I'm not as familiar with some of the Clone Wars animated series, and so I know these are beloved characters now for people, but I'm looking forward to being introduced to them because they obviously mean a lot to a lot of people. I'm not super familiar with this character.
Yeah, so I'm sure many of the people listening already know her, but for those of you who don't, Ahsoka is Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, who's introduced in the Clone Wars animated movie, and I'm fairly certain most people, when they've heard about that character being announced, and then when they saw her depicted, were like, "Oh my God, this is a terrible character," Not only because she was this very obvious continuity insert, but just, being a kid, and she would call Anakin Sky Guy, and you're like, oh, geez.
Sure.
But I'll tell you, having watched the show, and I haven't watched the new episodes that are on Disney Plus right now, but I mean, over the course of the series, really the character develops in a way where she humanizes Anakin in a way that really, accelerates the tragedy of his fall. But more interestingly, I mean, we saw her in the Rebels TV show, so during the original trilogy era. So she has sort of gotten grandfathered, or rather grandmothered in, as a beloved character.
That's cool. And she's interacted with a lot of the characters that we know and love, and kind of add some texture to the universe. So it'll be fun to spread that texture over into Mandalorian.
Yeah, so I mean, if this is true, that's super cool. And now the other thing is, Ahsoka is one of the voices that Rey hears at the end of The Rise of Skywalker. So we know that Ahsoka at least makes it to post Return of the Jedi. But who knows what the end of her story looks like. Maybe we'll see it on The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the context of everything in mind, I wonder when we'll see.
That's a good point.
Mandalorian.
I mean, they're filming right now, aren't they? The second season, or they were before all this.
I don't know.
Okay.
You know what? That feels right. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're shut down at this point.
So here's something interesting, Brian. This is not Star Wars related, but it literally, it crossed my radar as we were talking, and it is that we were talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Warner Brothers is debating whether Wonder Woman 1984 should skip theaters entirely and go straight to streaming.
Whoa.
So there's your game changer right there.
There's the game, yeah.
Right?
During this episode.
It literally came across my feed as I was talking to you. It says here, discussions are still preliminary and have remained close to Warner Pictures Group's chairman Toby Emmerich and his top advisors. Even director Patty Jenkins and producer Charles Roven have not been brought into the talks, but according to insiders, the preference is still to release the movie theatrically, but executives are considering a streaming alternative, probably as a direct-to-consumer offering, rather than as part of Warner's soon-to-launch subscription service HBO Max. The concern is that there is no known date for movie theaters to reopen, and there may be a shortage of favorable dates once theaters do come back online for the many films that have been postponed. Wow. Yeah.
So then this gives you an opportunity to try something new, because this is obviously a movie that a lot of people are going to want to see or would have gone out to see. So I think it was with The Hunt or something, right? Like, you can't buy it.
Yes.
Right? You rent it for $20 and you have it for 48 hours.
Yeah.
So with this, I mean, and this being an in-demand sort of film, I mean, do you make it like $30?
Yeah. See, this,
right?
And this is the perfect test subject.
Yes, because I'm gonna rent it if it comes out. I'm gonna rent it.
That's exactly right.
I think many people will. My parents will. This is you're right. This is the perfect test subject.
So we may well see history happen. Now it says here, Charles Roven and Patty Jenkins would like to see the movie hit theaters in August. But with so much uncertainty, Warner executives wonder if that's a realistic possibility amid a pandemic that's upended Hollywood and threatens to have long-term repercussions for the industry. There are not yet financial models that would allow the studio to compare the outcome of two distribution systems for film with a budget that multiple other insiders told The Wrap is just short of $200 million. Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
If if they were to do this, they would make back that $200 million inside of a week.
Yeah. I mean, I would think so. Right?
Yeah, I think they would.
Yeah. Especially now, maybe even a couple years ago, people weren't set up with as many streaming options or the devices to facilitate the streaming options, but now we are. Right? So this is pretty darn easy.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I think, I mean, the original release date is June, and they haven't said anything yet, but if this stretches much further, I think we're going to see some kind of announcement. I would assume the most likely option is it gets pushed, but I think that they're crunching the numbers right now and looking at the feasibility. I mean, this is not The Hunt,
right? Right.
Where people are like, well, I'm not paying $20 for that. It's like, well, no. They could probably go as high as like 40, and I think people would watch it.
Yeah, charge a theater. I mean, I guess it depends on where you're living, but yeah, a theater, $18 or something a ticket. It's like, well, yeah, checks out.
Yeah, so that's a developing story.
Very curious to follow that one.
We will have to come back to that.
Yeah.
Anything else worth mentioning, Brian?
No, but it seems like every day there's something new. So I do look forward. Like, this is kind of a bright spot for me to keep coming back and talking with you through all this, and just seeing what's going down.
Yeah,
we're not going anywhere.
we suddenly have a surfeit of time. So,
yep. And some commentaries, and we got all sorts of things we can do.
Yeah, so in terms of commentaries, coming up in just a week or so, we're going to be dropping our talk through of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990.
I just absolutely cannot wait.
It's been a little bit since I've watched that, so I'm actually really looking forward to going through that again. And we'll be joined by our old partner, Sean Coyle, who's also landlocked for the time being. So. Got a little bit of time, but there's plenty more stuff. We mentioned a couple weeks ago that I suggested to you, I should say, that we should talk through Darkman.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
And I would very much like to do that. In addition to there's a whole bunch of like anniversary movies this year. Because I think we set up Apollo 13 and RoboCop 2. I know somebody's looking forward to hearing that from us. Which I've never seen. Well, so I'll
have to watch it.
That is, I think, at least for me, something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, well, I think I've started it once, and just circumstances actually shut it down. I didn't turn it off, but just that there is another RoboCop movie, it's like, oh wow, actually that's kind of cool. And I know it's not as good as the original, but hey. I mean, let's do it.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. So I suspect that we're going to end up probably doing more commentaries than we otherwise would have. And I'm all about it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So that'll be fun. But like I said, Ninja Turtles is coming up, and if you have not already, please do check out our Batman Forever commentary, which we dropped just like last week.
Yep.
So you still got Puppy Dog Pals going on, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm still going to be writing, and as far as I know, I think the show is still in production remotely. Okay. And, of course, episodes are still being released. I think one drops today. So.
Oh, perfect. Well, there you go. Yeah. The work continues. The dream lives on.
Yeah.
I'm still doing my thing. I have a new episode of the Nostalgia Theater Show dropping soon. It's my conversation with Mark Valley, a.k.a. The Human Target. We had a pretty interesting chat that I'm looking forward to sharing.
Very cool.
And, I'm expecting to do more writing, so look for that at my website, ZackysCorner.com. That's ZAKIS Corner. That's also my Twitter. That's also my Instagram. And if you have any questions or comments for us, you can email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast. And please go to iTunes, leave a review, leave a star rating. Every little bit helps. Thank you to the people who just left reviews for us. And as we just said, I mean, the goal is that we will still be doing the regular show. It's going to be slightly different.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine not doing this. So
no.
If nothing else, just to keep each other sane.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and hopefully just be something, a fun distraction and a little entertainment for
a
anyone
little
who's
bit of
interested.
a little bit of normalcy for people
Yeah.
listening. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
So we're going to continue to do that. I'll tell you, we're coming up on episode 200, and that's going to be a weird one.
Yeah, or 200.
Did I say 100?
I think so.
Wow, it feels like 100.
Yeah,
200.
but yeah, we'll still figure out something.
Yeah, I mean, I one thing I wanted to throw out there to people listening is if you have like any memorable bits or whatever from previous episodes, maybe we can sort of cull some of those and create like a supercut or something. If people
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
That's only if people remember. I mean, obviously, I don't remember shit, man. I don't remember what I said last time. I'm like Guy Pearce in Memento when I do this show. It's,
Right.
I forget
do it
it
on yourself. Yeah.
but if people remember or something, maybe let us know. Maybe we can find those things and kind of do like a little, like once upon a time on the movie film show.
It'll be like a clip from episode 1 where it's like, Shocky, can you hear me? Just this awful audio.
You know what's funny is I was going through my files and I found our very first episode.
The one that we did over the phone?
We did, yeah. This is so like before we did our like official. This is like episode 0. We never officially dropped it.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember this?
Was it about Batman or something?
No, that was our first episode.
Oh, okay. Then I don't remember this. What was 0?
Okay, it was that traumatic. You blocked it out.
Maybe.
Yeah, we did like a test, like, essentially it was like, hey, let's get on a call and see if we can like tolerate each other for 90 minutes. Spoiler alert, we did, so that's good. But that episode, like, that was never meant for public consumption.
Okay.
But I found that, and I was like, this is friggin' weird.
I kind of want to hear it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, and maybe we can play a piece from that.
Sure.
Just to show how far we've come. It's sort of like, remember, when we were kids, this is like such a deep cut, but when we were kids, there were those like Garfield collections.
Oh yeah, the books. Yeah,
the books,
Mm-hmm.
and you liked reading Garfield comics, but like the very first Garfield comic.
Yeah. Yes, I know exactly where you're going with this.
And you're like, oh, what the hell? Like,
Yeah, he looks so different. The humor is different. Yeah.
So that's like our very first. That's like our Garfield #1.
Yeah, that's funny. I was actually picturing the movie Wayne's World when Garth is left alone on the TV. And he's like, "Hi, I'm having fun." Not, like, Brian, do you have any news? No.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. So I found that. So anyway, I was just amused by that. Yeah. But we'll be back soon. Like I said, we'll be talking through Ninja Turtles, and we got lots more to say while we are all holed up waiting for coronavirus to pass us by. So thanks, everybody, for listening. And on behalf of my partner, Brian Hall, my name is Zaki Hassan. This has been Movie Film 197.
Yeah.
Sorry, a dramatic build-up.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy